Hi everyone, it's Tracy Lewin.
And Peter Murray. Good morning, Tracy.
Hi there, Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks. Everything
Fantastic.
is looking upwards and onwards.
Absolutely. Upwards and onwards, and the price is doing that as well. I mean, to actually make it through this weekend, I just really have a feeling, and this is just a feeling,
hmm
that maybe we've crossed $1,000 and won't go back.
It's going to be very interesting to see how long Bitcoin holds here above 1,000. I think it's a big benchmark. And you might just see 1,000 now becoming support, which will be great. The
Yes.
question is, where's the next resistance? 1,100, 1,500? And you know what's going to happen next. And I'm pretty sure, if you guys keep on following the news and looking at what the fundamentals do, you'll realize that here's a secret, Tracy.
Tell me.
Bitcoin is still cheap.
Yes.
It's very, very cheap. Buy while it's cheap.
And you know what? There's so much exciting stuff that's coming down the line. I mean, in terms of Bitcoin as well, we're coming up to March. March is going to be all about ETFs. And, if that actually happens, the Bitcoin price will go bananas. And so now you're right, Peter, $1,000, very, very cheap.
What did we say last year? Beware of the Ides of March.
You did, actually. Let's go and listen to that again.
Now we're on the Ides of March again, and this time we're looking at massive investor adoption.
Yes.
We were talking about it this morning. If the ETF lists, that opens the market up to almost anybody with a stock exchange account. There's millions of potential investors.
Yes.
And could put a big fire under the Bitcoin price.
And of course, those investors are also looking at better returns because there haven't been great returns in just the normal investments.
No.
And Bitcoin has shown. I mean, Bloomberg's been reporting that Bitcoin was the top performing asset of last year and the year before and the year before. So I mean, it's becoming like a broken record. And we know going forward, it's definitely going to be the same. It's just going to keep growing.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Anyway, let's talk about the news.
Yes.
So actually, this is very good. It's incredible capital growth when you just hold on to or invest your Bitcoin wisely. That's such a true statement.
Yes, incredible capital growth, and like we just said, investor adoption is on the order of the day.
Yes, definitely. So drugs, code, and ICOs. Imagine having all those together. Monero's long road to the blockchain mainstream.
I saw the Monero price jump this morning. I had a look at it quickly, and it's looking very, very strong as well. Talking about coins.
Well, actually, there's a few coins that are. Oh wait, we'll have to look on our blog. That are on this list. There you go. There it is. Okay, it's like $12.73. Third on the list. So anyway,
Yeah.
Let's see what actually happens.
It's just below Ethereum now, and that's very interesting.
Yes, very, very interesting. Okay, let's move up. And there seem to be people doing this, Peter. People that are swapping their coins on this coin exchange.
Oh, very much so. This coin exchange is active, and there's lots of people that are changing their altcoins into Bitcoin or the Bitcoins into altcoins. And the nice thing about this exchange is it's you can go there. You don't have to register at all. You just go. You put in your one coin. You choose your other one, and you exchange it immediately. And it's on your website. Just go there, look for coin exchange, and go test it. It's driven by Shapeshift, which is an exchange that's been existing now for quite a long time. So you've got a trusted third party, and we're hosting it on your site because we've tested it and it works quite well. So have a look.
Excellent. So Bitcoin prices are on a huge upward trend, no end in sight. There's lots of articles now about the Bitcoin price because everyone gets excited. It says here it's been a wild year for Bitcoin, but actually, when you really look at it, it was a little bit of an emotional January, but it wasn't exactly wild. What do you think?
Yes. No, it wasn't, I think. Yes, I think everything is going to go just even a little bit wilder. Let's put it that way.
Yes, definitely. So here's another article about Bitcoin price will skyrocket if it becomes the world's reserve currency by 2020. That would be pretty interesting, that.
That would be if Bitcoin really becomes the world's reserve currency in the next, the next 4 years.
So, Peter, there's a lot of terminology around Bitcoin, and one of them is what does open source mean? So there's a little short explainer video just explaining everything about open source and where Bitcoin fits in.
Well, it's very interesting for people, and this is why it's so important for people to actually follow our channel, because these explainer videos will answer all their questions. I've actually noticed on your blog that your frequently asked questions are becoming very, very popular, because we've done something that not a lot of people have done, is we've actually taken all the frequently asked Bitcoin questions and answered each one of them with a little explainer video, which is great. And thanks for that, Tracy. And
it's a pleasure. I just want to invite anybody who's got a question that they don't quite understand just to let us know what it is. And we'll take it, we'll have a look at that and see if we can make a video. And also, I just want to say that why I'm absolutely and totally loving this journey is that we are all actually learning and growing together. So that to me is fantastic, actually.
Very, very interesting. Very, very good. And I'm very, very glad that you did all of this. Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay, SEC begins soliciting comments on Bitcoin investment trust. Now, this is what we were talking about, the whole looming of the ETF that's happening. But also, there was also another Bitcoin investment trust that was listed as well, or waiting.
Yes, and I think once the SEC is listed one, the others are going to be much easier.
Yes, I mean, it's definitely going to open the floodgates.
I think the SEC wants to understand what the guys are actually investing in. And
yes.
This is why it's taking such a long time.
Yes. Okay, so now this is actually Bitcoin's mantra. Be so good they can't ignore you.
Well, it's been doing well on that front so far. So we'll see how that evolves. But it's true, if you're good at something, then people can't ignore you.
Yes, and here's an article about on 6 ways fintech will evolve in 2017. There's a lot of focus on fintech as well this year, and last year as well, and it's a very, very exciting space because it affects us all.
Yes, absolutely, and we know that there's a lot of fintech events coming up. There's just a few passing as well, so it's happening all over the world.
Well, there was actually one in Paris 2 weeks ago, and they had a great turnout from bankers, investors, entrepreneurs, everybody wanting to know about obviously to get to those consumers now that are starting to get in touch with technology and have a different interface and interaction with companies and applications.
Well, I saw that there had 1,500 people from industry attending, so that's excellent.
Yes. Also, I've just passed this one, Bitcoin adoption in France. If you're interested in what's going on in France, have a look there. I mean, even down to having you can even catch a bus with Bitcoin in France.
Excellent.
And of course, this is a very, very true statement. Blockchain banking can transform women's lives in emerging economies. But of course, it's not only the lives of women. But the women certainly in let's talk about Africa, India. There's a lot of focus on them because they're looking after families.
Well, the main thing is that the unbanked community needs something, and Bitcoin is bringing it to them.
Yes. Says here, estimated 70% of women-owned SMEs in the formal sector in emerging markets are underserved by financial institutions. So there's a gap of something like $285 billion. I mean, that's a massive gap.
Yes, absolutely. That will put so much money into those economies if you can fill that gap.
Yes. And Peter, this was a great statement made by Bobby Lee. The killer app for blockchain is Bitcoin, and the killer app for Bitcoin is money.
That's right. And, Bobby Lee is an interesting guy. And I must say that app of his Mobi is quite interesting, where you can transfer money from mobile phone to mobile phone.
Yes, and if anybody wants to know about Moby and Bobby Lee, just go to our page. Here's the video. Just check it out. And of course, download your own Moby.me and get some free Bitcoin from Bobby. Okay, the other thing that is, that's, as I said earlier, that is really, we're hearing a lot more about is fintech. So not everybody knows what fintech is. So here's another short explainer video. What is fintech?
That's very good as well. Because I think fintech is going to be the new buzzword now.
Yes.
And it means basically the merger of finance and technology.
Yes.
And it's almost, a golden link between the two.
Yes. So here's another article about fintech. And it says here, fintech firms, big banks are lobbying to block change. Well, because there's the banks need to start being a little bit more agile and come to the party a bit. I would assume.
They absolutely need to embrace this.
Definitely, because they're saying they are lobbying against EU legislation. And here's one of your favorite quotes.
Yeah. Or if you want to state it more positively, if it's your private keys, it's your Bitcoins. Yes. Conversely, if it's not your private keys, it's not your Bitcoins. So make sure that you are in control of your keys, because otherwise somebody else has signing rights to your checkbook.
Yes. So the other thing we were talking about this morning was Bitcoin mines. And here's also, if anybody's interested in what's going on and where Bitcoin mines are located, there's still a hang of a lot of interest in mining Bitcoin, with mining pools that are popping up and, And of course, if the Bitcoin price, really skyrockets, these guys are going to be very profitable.
Yeah.
Okay, here's an article on how to defend against keyloggers that are after your Bitcoins. It says it's malware that records your keystrokes and sends them back to the attacker, referred to as the keylogger. It's a significant threat to your stash of Bitcoins. Well, if you keep them online, that is.
Well, you may need to not type in your private keys then on your computer. So be careful.
So Bitcoin-friendly Denmark to appoint first digital ambassador.
That's very interesting. I saw that Denmark is looking at the technology companies and saying they are becoming as important as states, and they're looking to send ambassadors to these companies. Thus, the first digital ambassador. And this is a nice concept. This whole idea of business ambassadors, instead of just doing politics, also looking at your business community.
Yes. Well, so you see, the thing is also, it says, building a cashless society and attracting investments from technology companies. That's what Denmark's doing. In fact, I think I need to do Bitcoin adoption blog on Denmark.
Yes, that would be quite nice.
Yes, I'll do that. So fintech companies are stepping up to the mark, and this is really just a list of, there's about 50 companies, fintech companies that are, that have really, really done exceptionally well from last year, and another 50 that you need to watch. So have a look at that. And
well, did you see that large building there on the left-hand side in that slide? It's called the Shard.
Let's have a look at it.
And I've heard from a very good authority that it's a hot spot for blockchainers to have after-event activities. Let's put it that way.
Sounds like fun. Okay, London FinTech Week. It's coming up in the middle of the year, so 7th to the 14th of July. So if you've got any business or any or you want to get involved, go to these events. They really are worth going to, because you're actually gonna meet people who are like-minded. And I have to say that it was a great time to be at the London Blockchain Week, and amazing to see how many people and how many companies and how much interest there is in this new digital economy.
Yes, it's absolutely wonderful. And FinTech Week is going to be a big event. So if you can get yourself there, do yourself a favor and go.
Bitcoin market needs big blocks, says founder of BTC top mining pool. This discussion continues.
Yes, it's all about, you know, the speed of transactions.
And yeah, this is a story about Venezuela, because there's all sorts of drama going down there. You know, the guys in Venezuela are actually doing, they've set up quite a lot of Bitcoin mines, because there was this idea of free electricity. And obviously, one of the things that they're doing with mining Bitcoin is making sure that they can actually buy food. So now these authorities are obviously seeing big spikes in electricity and usage, and they are cracking down on these mining centers.
That's very interesting. And also, you know, part of this crackdown is because of the weakness of the Venezuelan currency and also capital controls. And I think they're scared of a Bitcoin capital flight.
Yes. Well, I think what's actually happening is they actually are sort of using the Bitcoin to buy products, I believe, and gets delivered to a neighboring country, and then they go across and then they bring food back. So that's really what's happening to that Bitcoin. But I'm sure a lot of it is also getting stashed or traded with. Okay, why cities will soon choose digital currency over fiat money? They say it's a matter of time before a city makes the leap to its own digital currency. Didn't we see just the other day there was Liverpool's got their own currency. Liverpool, yes. In the UK.
Yes, the Beatles coin.
Yeah. Oh, this is an interesting statistic as well. By 2050, it's estimated that almost 70% of the world's population will be living in cities, almost double, or more than double in 100 years. Incredible.
That's very interesting.
Well, you know what? They're building smart cities. They're building all sorts of things around cities, and people are gravitating towards them. Okay, this is another one on Venezuela shutting down a Bitcoin exchange. This time around, it's the exchange called Sir Bitcoin. So it's actually but the actual good thing is they kind of. They did contact some of the account holders, but they probably couldn't get out of all of them to withdraw their Bitcoin. But they were given 2 weeks.
Don't put your money in the hands of a third party. Make sure that you're in control of the private keys. Then it doesn't matter whether the exchange will go closed down or not, because you'll keep your coins on the blockchain, not in somebody else's wallet.
Yes. Well, I actually know of somebody who had 10 coins in an exchange, and when they logged in, they were actually redirected to another site. Needless to say, it was major panic stations, thinking they had lost their 10 Bitcoin. So best ways to maximize profit while Bitcoin price marches up.
No, interesting. There's many ways.
So have a look at that if you... Yeah.
You should read that and see how you can make profit from your Bitcoins.
So here's actually another one. Do you know that burying your laptop won't make your Bitcoins any safer, right? 4 ways your devices are spying on you right now. Who's spying on us, Peter?
I don't know, but I just was putting a plaster over my camera. You never, ever know,
Yeah, well, you know what? People hack into those baby monitors as well. I know there's been some hacking into that as well.
A few years ago, the guys were talking about Big Brother, but now it's Big Brother, his mother, his sister, his siblings. Everybody's watching you now.
Okay, here's another one on the price. Bullish sentiment fuels Bitcoin return to $1,000. I don't know. This is just a feeling in my bones. Maybe we won't go below $1,000. Even though I know you want to go down to 200.
I want to buy some more Bitcoins at a low price, but ultimately, like I said earlier, this is cheap. Buy.
Yeah. So can you go to jail for trading Bitcoin in Russia? They're still deciding. They've been, toing and froing and, so it's actually going to be quite interesting. They had a conference dedicated to regulation of cryptocurrencies in Russia. Interesting that they did that. And they welcomed more than 250 participants, founders of fintech startup companies.
That's very
blockchain
interesting.
community. Yeah, that's very interesting that they did that. So here's another coin called Cage Coin. 30,000% it grew, and it hits the top 10 on market cap, and then it disappears.
Okay. They should have called it Houdini coin.
This I also thought very interesting today. The UAE to adopt systems seeking to lure top foreign talent. Now, what Dubai is doing, I'm going to actually do something on them, definitely, for sure. Dubai are, they're wanting to change their whole visa structure now, so that they can get these people. In the meantime, I think it's this week or next week, they're having there's going to be a big conference there, as well as a hackathon. Now, their hackathon, they are inviting top developers to come up with new ways for government services. Because remember what the UAE did, one of the guys in the family did, is said that in 2020 they want to be completely, government services must be completely on the blockchain by 2020. So clearly they are wanting to find this talent to do this. So if there are any young people out there, or young, old, whatever it is, good with good ideas and coding abilities, this is definitely, could be, you know, you could shoot to the stars here.
Get yourself to the UAE.
Well, get yourself on that hackathon as well.
Mm.
Now, I must apologize. I actually have got 3 images here, one after the other. So I must have been in a very, very happy mood this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the end of our stories today. Let's have a look.
That
Let's
seems
just see
to
if
be
there's
the-
one just... No, there might be one peeping. There you go. New York City law firm experiments with blockchain smart contracts. Now, that's another thing we haven't spoken about for a while, is smart contracts, because they're trying to get to grips with that.
They're trying to get the contracts a bit smarter. So while they're working on it, that's interesting. But, you know, smart contracts, we're going to hear a lot from it this year. So
Yes.
keep posted. Like we said, you know, just get yourself educated by following us on social media and on YouTube. And, you know, get a free education.
Yes, absolutely. So, Peter, thank you very much for that. And I just want to quickly swing over here. Look over here. Isn't this a lovely looking graph? Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers.